Miss Combos with lunnaBGM.
Yahoo everyone, and welcome back to Miss Combos with lunnaBGM. We are back for Mizu 6, and this event is titled Reaching Out Towards an Untiable Tomorrow. And as you can probably guess, this is the very first Mizuki focus event after the events of Mizu 5, which were almost at the 1-year mark, which is kind of crazy. So let's take a look at the event summary. Things have finally started to settle down for the members of Night Court at 25 after the recent incident at the Asahinas. At the same time, Mizuki's sister is returning to Japan for work. While talking to each other after a long time, Mizuki learned what inspired their sister to pursue her dream, and this also prompted Mizuki to start thinking about their own future. Before I even go further with this card reaction video, if you've already read the story, please refrain from posting any spoilers in the comments because I have not read the story, and I'm sure there's other people watching this video that have not read the story either, so please be respectful. Another disclaimer that I want to share is that transphobia, bigotry, and homophobia will not be tolerated in the comments. If you watch my Mizu 5 videos, then you know that I fundraise for the Trevor Project. I also do have several good friends that do happen to be members of the trans community, so I just don't take those types of hateful comments lightly whatsoever, especially in this political climate. Both in the US as well as in the UK, trans people are being villainized and also getting their rights taken away. So if you're going to be hateful and spew bigotry, you will get blocked. Just like I did with the Mizu 5 videos, whatever profits I do generate from this video will get donated to the Trevor Project at the end of the month when I do get my AdSense. So now let's continue with the card reaction video, but before we go into Mizuki cards, let's look at the event logo, because the event logo is very reminiscent of a past Mizuki event. In this event logo, we do see a mannequin as well as ribbon, which is making up pretty much the entirety of the event logo, and then you do see the butterfly gently holding on to the ribbon. When I first saw the event logo, it reminded me of the "And Now I Wear This Ribbon" logo, and this is an event where Mizuki's sister Yuki played a big role because Yuki was the one that gifted Mizuki the ribbon. And here we have the event logo. You can see the similarities. Obviously, the graphic design has come a long way, especially after all of these years, but the mannequin is there, the flowers are there, and we still have the same color palette. So now let's take a look at the untrained card. So here we have Mizuki and their sister Yuki. This is not the first time we've seen Yuki in Project Sekai. In fact, we have seen her a few times before, and we have seen Yuki with Mizuki, but in card artwork, it was always when Mizuki was portrayed much younger. And for those of you who may be newer fans of Project Sekai, Yuki is one of the most supporting characters in Mizuki's journey. Yuki provided Mizuki with a safe space to explore their identity and self-expression through fashion. Also, since up to now we still haven't met Mizuki's parents, Yuki kind of seemed to fill in that maternal role in Mizuki's storyline. Also, since in the past when we did see Yuki in card artwork or portrayed in the story, Mizuki was always portrayed much younger. You always have a much younger Mizuki looking up to their sister, but in this latest card, and now we have present day Mizuki standing tall and looking down onto their sister. To me, this represents Mizuki just letting Yuki know that they can stand up tall by their own thanks to all the encouragement that Yuki has given Mizuki over the years. And although we can't fully see Yuki's expression, we can form that she is very smiley. She just looks like a very proud older sister. And now let's take a look at the trained artwork, which is a complete 180 from the Mizu 5 artwork in a lot of ways. So we're going to be looking at both of these cards side by side just to point out some of the differences. Obviously, we can start by the colors of the cards. The Mizu 5 card is dark, it is moody, it evokes a sense of hopelessness and desperation, and also it really was a reflection on Mizuki's, mental health at that time. Then we have the Mizu 6 card, which is the complete opposite. It is white, it is airy. I get a sense of hope in this card, and also a sense of just this vast area for Mizuki to keep growing and keep expanding and exploring as well. If we take a look at the backgrounds for these two images, the background for the Mizu 5 card just seems very dead. It just seems like an abandoned place. There's no sense of life when compared to the Mizu 6 card, where you can still see the same mannequins, but now there's flowers blooming, there's butterflies flying, and you do also see a street light that is green, meaning it's time for Mizuki to go forward. Now let's focus on the outfits, because the outfits are also complete opposites. We have the Mizu 5 outfit, which is very confined. You have long sleeves, you have the corset, you have the very structured skirt as well. And then taking a look at the Mizu 6 outfit, this is much light, much more airy. It also has a much looser and relaxed fit. You do have Mizuki's arms exposed. It doesn't seem like Mizuki is hiding through the clothing. I also do want to point out what Mizuki is hiding in both of these images. So in Mizu 5, we have Mizuki that has their eyes covered with ribbon, while in Mizu 6, we have Mizuki's eyes completely uncovered, but they're covering their mouth. When I noticed this, it immediately reminded me of the three monkeys, also known as the three wise monkeys, which is actually a Japanese pictorial maxim. So this is straight from Japan. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. In Japanese, the three monkeys are Misaru, which is not seeing, the one covering their eyes, so see no evil. Then we have Kikasaru, which is not hearing, which is the monkey covering their ears. And lastly, we have Iwasaru, which is not speaking, which is the monkey covering their mouth. In Mizu 5, we clearly have the see no evil. And in my way, the way that I'm interpreting it, I feel like other people could interpret this a little bit differently. The way I'm interpreting see no evil is when Mizuki said that they wanted to disappear, they saw themselves as the evil. And we know that Mizuki's existence was not evil. Mizuki going through their gender identity journey also was not evil. So now in Mizu 6, we have Mizuki accepting themselves. This is the way, again, that I'm interpreting it. But now you see Mizuki covering their mouth. The speak no evil, speak no ill of your past self. I think for someone that has gone through depression and anxiety, and you go through states of life where you feel so desperate and so lonely and just feel so hopeless. And I know I, in the past, used to think of my younger self as stupid, like, why couldn't you do better? But it's all part of growing up and learning from your mistakes and evolving into a hopefully much better person. So I feel like Mizuki covering their mouth and doing these speak no evil and just being a little bit kinder to their past self is definitely a step into the right direction, and it shows how much Mizuki has grown so far, and they still have a lot to grow as well. I feel like a lot of us tend to forget that the characters portrayed in this story are just teenagers, and they still have a lot of life to live and a lot of growth to do. And lastly, I want to quickly point out a few things about the Mizu 6 card, starting off with the butterflies, which has been a reoccurring symbol throughout the Night Court cards, especially Mizuki cards. And we do know that butterflies symbolize metamorphosis, changing, evolving, and it goes hand in hand with Mizuki's journey. Other symbol that we're going to be seeing in all of the cards, it's a reoccurring theme throughout this card set, are yellow daisies. We even see yellow petals flowing through the screen. And yellow daisies specifically symbolize joy, optimism, and also friendship. So it's literally Mizuki turning on a brand new leaf, and hopefully we're going to start seeing a much more positive arc for Mizuki's story. Now moving on to Enna's Untrained card, we have Enna and Yuki. It is very sweet moment, judging by Enna's little nervous sweat bead. She's feeling a little overwhelmed by how energetic Yuki is, but they both look so cute. Enna's outfit is absolutely adorable. And here we have the trained artwork, which is absolutely beautiful. I know I've mentioned this in past card reaction videos, videos, but the ones that have flowers are honestly some of my favorite, and especially this one because it just looks like Enna is so happy to see the flowers bloom, to see Mizuki bloom, and it's just again the complete opposite of what we saw in Mizu 5. And it also reminds me a lot of Enna's 5th focus event, where in Enna's event we saw a lot of cherry blossoms. Those symbolize the seasons changing in Japan. We're going from winter to spring, and now we're heading into summer with these flowers. Just like with Mizuki's card, we do see some butterflies flying throughout the screen, including a pink butterfly which symbolizes Mizuki, and you can see Enna lovingly gazing onto the pink butterfly which is landing on the yellow daisies, almost like Enna is watching over Mizuki. Apart from the yellow daisies, which we now know those symbolize Mizuki, there's also 3 other daisies on the pots. We have the blue daisies, white daisies, and also pink daisies. Blue daisies, while being very rare, do symbolize long-term loyalty and trust. So in this case, it would be a long-term friendship between Mizuki and Enna. White daisies, much like other white flowers, do symbolize purity and innocence. And last but not least, we have the pink daisy, which symbolize gentleness, love, and they also do symbolize feminine energy as well. Now, if you want to interpret that each of these daisies stand for the different members of Night Court, you can definitely interpret it that way. The way that I'm interpreting this card is that Enna has been pretty much taking care of all this garden. She's the one watering and nurturing these plants, which all represent different parts of Mizuki. I really love the composition of this card, and also Enna just looks so sweet in this card. I really do love it overall. Moving on to the last 4-star card, we have Len eating some chocolates, and I do have to apologize to Len fans because you've gotten so many 4-star cards this past year. I feel bad for your crystal count. But now talking about the actual card itself, we have Len munching on some chocolate and just looking very childlike. I'm perceiving this card as the members of Night Court taking care of their inner child, and we do know that Len, in the grand scope of like the virtual singers in the Empty Sekai, he's the character that represents the inner child. So the fact that they're feeding and taking care of their inner child is also a really good reflection on how Night Court is doing. And here we have Len's trained artwork, which is absolutely beautiful. It's composed so I just really love this. I love the bright light coming in through the windows, all of the flowers and plants. It just looks like such a warm and inviting place. And also we see Len in a sense of just calmness. He's not tense and worried and scared like we did see in Mafuyu's last event, where we saw Len in a very dark place, hanging on to a stuffed animal and just feeling very lonely and scared. This is the complete opposite. Now Len, although they're seated in a very similar position, the body language is much more relaxed, and I almost feel like I, as well as Len, can finally breathe. Like they finally have found a sense of almost like nirvana in a way. And for those of you that don't know the actual meaning of the word nirvana, nirvana was not just a 90s grunge band, okay? Nirvana is the word to describe a place of perfect peace and happiness. So I'm getting a callback to the idiom, after the storm comes a calm. I feel like it goes very hand in hand with the Night Court story. We have seen them over the last few years struggle and suffer a lot. A lot of their card artwork has always been very dark, very emotional. There's been a lot that has been bottled up, and now we're finally in the calm state where Night Court can hopefully begin to heal, not only individually but also as a group, and just keep nurturing each other and helping each other grow and bloom. And in Len's card, you can actually see 4 different butterflies. So there is a butterfly representing each member of Night Court. We have the pink butterfly representing Mizuki landing on the book that Len is reading, which has a yellow daisy. Then we have a purple butterfly for Mafuyu. We have a brown butterfly for Enna. And lastly, behind Len, we have the maroonish, I don't know how to describe kind of this color, but we do have a a butterfly on actually, do we have a reference to a classic Vocaloid song, Butterfly on Your Right Shoulder? Because that butterfly, if it lands, it'll land on Len's right shoulder, which is absolutely insane. As you guys know, it's one of the most classic Vocaloid songs, and it was produced by Noripi. It came out a very long time ago. Well, back in, I believe, 2009, if I remember correctly. Wow, that is absolutely insane. Like, it's so fitting as well. And finally, we have the 3-star card, which we have Kanade looking like an absolute like sweet doll. I think she looks so cute. That headband I know is very popular among, Japanese like fashion, and I just think it looks absolutely precious on Kanade. And if I can think of a scenario, it's probably Yuki trying to dress Kanade up, and Kanade just looks like a little doll, and it's so cute, so cute. And for the trained artwork, we have Kanade literally tending to her garden. She's holding a water canister and she's looking at all of these plants. So Kanade, as the leader of Night Court, the one composing the music, the one that brought together Night Court, it's very fitting for Kanade to be taking care of the garden. And once again, we do have the other 3 members of Night Court represented as butterflies. We have Mizuki landing once again on the yellow daisies. We have Enna that's flying in the background, and also Mafuyu that's very close to Kanade. So it's just a very warm image, and it shows how much Kanade cares about all of the members of Night Court. And finally, we have the 2-star card, which belongs to Mafuyu, and Mafuyu is holding a bouquet of yellow daisies in her hand. This again is a complete 180 from the Mizu 5 card. In Mafuyu's Mizu 5 card, we saw Mafuyu sitting far away, very distant, watching over the umbrella with the bow symbolizing Mizuki, almost like she didn't want to be part of Mizuki's journey. And now we have Mafuyu openly embracing Mizuki's journey and holding her very close to her face. Like, to me, I'm interpreting this as Mafuyu just kind of telling Mizuki like, hey, we're in this together. I will support you and you can support me. Which, for a 2-star card, I feel like this one is a very, very good card. And there you have it. These are the Mizu 6 cards. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I know a lot of people were not super pleased with the NF5 storyline because it seemed like that was the conclusion to Mizu 5. But even just looking at these cards, I kind of feel like this is the conclusion and the beginning of a brand new story arc for Mizuki, and perhaps even for all of the members of Night Court. I just feel this sense of hope and prosperity maybe for them. I don't know, maybe it's just me looking way too into all of the colors and also the symbolism within the cards, but I just feel very hopeful for this brand new story arc that they're all entering. If you're pulling on this gacha, best of luck to you. I hope that you get the card that you want. If you're tearing, best of luck to you as well. I'm sure this is going to be a very competitive event. If you're brand new, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Thank you for watching, and see you later. Bye bye.